What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in Montreal, Canada for Tier 1 for the Grand Prix. I'm just going to jump in a party so I'm not annoying everybody. The F1 is on shortly as well at 7 PM, so we have started at 5 PM this evening. So, Capsule is the first driver out on track. What's going on? Reeves, I don't really know what's going on here. How are we, Mirko? Okay. Stellan, how are we? What's happening, Jeffy? So, here we go. This is it. So, Tier 1. Sorry about short qualifying, everybody. I know everybody loves full qualifying, and I absolutely would have done full qualifying as well, but then everybody was saying it, we were going to run close, and if there's a safety car, we might not make it, so we'll just be on the same side. We've gone short. We saw Twitch Capsule turning in very early there, but that's not a thing for the Grand Prix. We've got Go Alvaro Rochabas reserving for Red Bull. We have Dennis back on track as well under Hackmore in the McLaren full-time driver once again. We've got Joich Jorn made it into the Grand Prix, which is brilliant, and Banana obviously reserving as he steps back up to Tier 1. So on board the Twitch Capsule, he goes in towards the Senna Virage at turn 1 and 2, just rides the apex around there, and then back on the throttle, just feathering that battery once more, and then down in towards turn 3 and 4, over the curb he goes, keeps it valid, and then back onto the battery around turn 5 into sector 2 we go. Slamming on them brakes, hugging the apex to the left, riding the apex to the right, out of turn 7, foot down, DRS enabled, battery on, and towards turn 8 we go for Twitch Capsule. And then into the curb, into 8 and 9, and down towards the hairpin chicane at turn 10. The end of sector 2 for the Mercedes driver, into the right-handed hairpin. Wants to be careful not to lose the back end. He doesn't. Back onto the battery. DRS will be enabled around halfway down. The rear wing is open. The Mercedes is absolutely flying. He's got that Williams just in the distance. And then in towards the Wall of Champions. Into the Wall of Champions for the Mercedes. That is beautiful. So close. And Twitch Capsule coming down towards the line. And it's a 1:10.5. And CJ3000 a 1:10.2 for the Kick Sauber driver. Laying down a benchmark, the Tier 2 driver. Deadly is also out on track. We do have an Alpine just coming towards the line. I think that is Stellan. It is Stellan on the median compound, and he's way down on his lap time. A couple more drivers. We do have a Haas as well of Mitch and Daki will be first to the line though. Daki's just starting this flying lap. We have a Ferrari. Here comes Mirko, the Italian driver. And he comes down towards the line. He runs a little bit wide there. I think he's slowed down. Oh, he invalidated it. And there goes Mitch. A 1:10.3 goes up to P2. Joich Jorn on an outlap. Yeah, no problem, Alvaro. Yeah, no problem. Penguin, you're all good, mate. So, Joich Jorn. We have a few drivers on laps. One of them being Fanfinis in the Ferrari. And I think CJ, Epic OJ 1:10.4 goes up to P3, but here comes Fanfinis. He's in the 1.9s, he's in the 1:09.5s, and Fanfinis in the Ferrari is not messing around. He is on provisional pole. Stellan in the Alpine. There's a huge loss to the Grand Prix tonight, and that is that Reese cannot make it. And this is a great opportunity for B Wright to extend his lead going into round 2. Banana in the Aston Martin, Mirko in the Ferrari, B Wright in the Aston Martin. So we'll see what B Wright can do. So the Aston Martin driver just getting a little bit of a tow there from the Williams. And then out of turn 9 down towards turn 10 for the 3-time world champion. Let's see what he can put on the board as the yellow flags wave. Just drivers getting out of the way of each other. I think there's a Williams just getting out of the way of the Ferrari. And here comes be right now. Up the Casino Straight. And then the driver, Williams, just moving over to the right hand side and into Quebec. Here we go for B right. It's nice. It's maybe just a little bit safe the first time he went through there, but it's still going to be a great lap. It's a 1:10.1 and he's up to P3. Daki in the Haas, the South Korean driver, up to P2. And then we do have a few drivers. Welsh Sponge also coming down the Casino Straight now. A few drivers coming up towards the line. Stelling goes P9 with a 1:10.9. And now here comes Welsh Sponge into the Wall of Champions. That's nice. He keeps it valid. Back onto the battery. Back onto the throttle. Down towards the line for Welsh Sponge. And it is a 1:10.6. This is extremely close. Here comes Dennis. He's gone purple. Sector 2. So Dennis, can he come back with a bang? Here in Canada, it's a Ferrari 1-2. Fanfinus and Mirko putting a statement down from the Maranello team into Quebec for the Papaya McLaren. That was really neat. Through there for Hackmore, down to the line, and it's a 1:09.2. And it is provisional pole from the McLaren. No messing around. Here comes Yoic Sean in the Williams, the Tier 2 World Champion. And it is a 1:11.6 from Yorn, the slowest of the drivers so far, but he wouldn't have had much practice. Finnick is also on a lap in that Red Bull. So let's see what Finnick can do. So the Red Bull driver coming down towards turn 8 and 9. Oh, and he loses the back end there. It's so easily done. So out of turn 10, in towards turn 11, and down the Casino Straight for Finnick in the Red Bull. And this is where it is just absolutely flat out. And then into the World Champions, you've got to get the entrance here. And he does, and then back onto the throttle on the exit. Down towards the line. Finnick, this is a good lap. It's a 1:10.3 and it's up to P8 for the Red Bull driver. Only 3/10 of a second separate P4 to P10. That is how close this is. Deadly in the Alpine will be next. He's just coming down the Casino Straight, just past turn 12 now and down towards turn 13. Saying he was so careful not to invalidate. Into the World Champion door. He drifts through there for Deadly. Extremely close to the wall, down towards the line, and Deadly will go at P14 and just in front of Yorn. Jeffy Boy on an outlap, Banana in the Aston Martin, looking very quick at the moment in front of Mitch and just behind Finnick. Welsh Sponge going back into the pit lane. Yorn, Deadly. So no drivers on laps at the moment. So, is Mitch on a lap? Oh, he's invalidated it. Oh, he's invalidated it. There is a Ferrari on an outlap behind him. So Finnick goes into the pit lane. Mitch obviously invalidated it. Banana will start another flying lap. And the driver who has been promoted will want to put down a statement as well. Here he comes in towards the centre virage through turn 1 and 2 for the Aston Martin. He looks so at ease with the car, doesn't he, Banana? Over the apex, he invalidates it, maybe 2 at ease, as he invalidates his lap. Yeah, Deadly and Yorn will go again. Yeah, we'll go for another lap. So, what about Epic OJ and the Williams? He's just in front of them. He's shown great pace in round 1 in Abu Dhabi. Can he do the same here in Montreal? Into turn 3 and 4 for the Williams driver. Look how close that was. That was brilliant stuff. A purple sector 1 and he's slightly up on his lap time, so he must have lost quite a bit from sector 2 and 3. Back onto the DRS. And we head down towards turn 8 for the Williams driver. And that was really nice as he just drifted sort of through there. down towards turn 10 at the start of sector 3 for Epic OJ, and he makes up 1/1000th of a second between sector 1 and 2. Now he's got to put it all on the line through sector 3 if he wants to find anything. He must have messed up sector 3 because he's absolutely flying, but he's so far behind on his old time. There goes Fanfurness on 109.2, goes even quicker than Dennis. Here comes Epic OJ through the wall of champions, down towards the line for the Williams driver. Epic OJ into the 9s as well. He beat 3 drivers leading this qualifying with a 109.2 for all 3 of them. B Wright goes P4 at 109.5. Stellan goes P5 with a 109.5, then a 109.6. This is quite incredible. There goes Mirko in the Ferrari, goes up to P4 with a 109.4. So, Welsh Sponge has invalidated it. CJ3000 is slightly down on his lap time. Daki just coming through. I think he's on an in-lap, is he? Or is he actually on a flyer? Yellow flag's just drivers moving out the way. That was the Red Bull. And what about Jeffy Boy? Yet to set a lap time for the Kick Sauber driver. So as we head down towards the hairpin at turn 10, Alvaro Chavas also on the lap, just coming through sector 1 in the Red Bull. Ariel in the McLaren, still not out of the pit lane. Here comes Jeffy Boy, he has invalidated it. So as well Sponge. Finnick is on another lap. CJ3000 goes into the pit lane. Daki in the Hassan just coming down the Casino straight. And we'll see if he's going into the pits or going down to the line. And he is going into the pit lane. So it will be... Oh, Finnick's made a mistake. So Alvaro Chavas in the Red Bull down towards turn 10. Did he get a little bit of help from his teammate Finnick there? So out of turn 10. I mean, Finnick would probably want his teammate to score some points here, as it helps him out as well. So down to the Wall of Champions for the Portuguese driver, and he gets that spot on. That was a really nice entrance into Quebec. And Alvaro Chavas on 110.4 goes up to P13 and in front of Welsh Sponge. So Welsh Sponge just struggling. Oh, he's invalidated it again. 5 minutes to go here in qualifying, and Welsh Sponge still struggling to get a decent lap on the board. Stellan in the Alpine, is he finding any improvement as he comes down towards turn 13? For the Alpine driver, into the pits we go. Just under 5 to go. Here comes Mitch in the Haas as he comes towards the Wall of Champions. And he gets it right. That's exactly what he needed. Any improvement here is going to boost him up quite a few positions. And Mitch goes up to P8 just behind his teammate of Daki. The two Hasses in the top 10. Good stuff there from Daki and Mitch. And it was really competitive. So Deadly, currently with a 111.3. We want to find something a little bit more here. So down towards the Wall of Champions for the Alpine. Wow, that was right on the limit of invalidation, but he kept it valid. Deadly to the line, goes up to P13 and in front of Alvaro Chavas. Mitch goes into the pit lane. Hackmore in the McLaren on the way out. So is Stellan in the Alpine. So many quick drivers on the grid. Last to first for Jeffy, we'll see. And down towards the hairpin at turn 10 we go. And he is 1/10 up on his lap time. That would put him back on pole position. This is very interesting for the Papaya. DRS enabled. That battery's still burning. It looks super impressive here, Hackmore. In the McLaren, down towards the wall of champions. He keeps it valid. And this could be the pole position lap that we are on board with right now. And the McLaren does go pole of 109.071. So the kick Sauber of CJ3000 on and out lap. Deadly as well, trying to improve. Stellan in. The Alpine is round. Stellan is round. He's lost it coming out of turn 9. So all the drivers on and out lap. Banana just about leaving the pit lane. He's going to have to hurry up if he wants to get his final lap in. So Wellsponge is also out, but he needs to be quick. He's moving out the way for a lot of drivers, and I don't think he's going to get to the line doing that. Potentially still make it to the line, actually. I think Ariel might be pushing it if he wants to get to the line. He's going to probably do it with about a second left if he does do it. So let's jump on board with some of these drivers. So Fanfness will go for another run. Epic OJ is actually on a lap now, coming around turn 8 and 9. So can Epic OJ do anything about the two drivers in P1 and P2? He is improving. He's nearly a tenth of a second up at the moment. Here comes Epic OJ in the Williams, out of turn 10, through turn 11 and down towards turn 12. DRS enabled through the casino straight as we head towards the Wall of Champions. Epic OJ on his final run here in Montreal, into the Wall of Champions, on the limit. He gets it spot on down to the line. I think this could be pole position. Epic OJ takes pole, the 109.0. And then we have the Aston Martin of Banana. He's just going to reach the line 6 seconds. Is Ariel going to reach the line? Ariel does reach the line. Wow, with a second to go. So the Mercedes will be next. Here comes Twitch Caxley, slightly down on his lap time. Dennis can do no more. His best start will be P2. Here comes Twitch Caxel. He's currently in P10. Down to the line. Twitch Caxel stays P10. Then comes a couple of Ferraris. Here comes Fanfness to the line. Fanfness goes P2, takes it away from Dennis. Then comes the Red Bull of Phoenix, stays P12. What about the Haas of Daki goes P4. What a lap that is from Daki. Here comes B right down in towards the Wall of Champions. Can the Aston Martin driver improve? He does get it better through the Wall of Champions, down towards the line, and the Aston Martin driver takes P4. The other Haas of Mitch stays in P8. Then we have the Alpine of Deadly. Alvaro Chabas goes up to P11 in the Red Bull. Deadly stays in P12. Then we have a couple of kick salvage. Jeffy Boy is into the pit lane. He's not going to improve. CJ3000 is also not improving. Then we have the other Aston Martin of Banana. Goes up to P11. What a lap time that is from Banana. Wellsponge takes P14. And Ariel will be the final driver. That is it. Epic OJ takes pole here in Canada. And so Epic OJ takes pole position here in Canada. Fanfness in the Ferrari P2, Hackmore in the McLaren P3, B Wright in P4, Daki in the Haas in P5, Mirko in P6, Stellan in P7, Mitch in P8, CJ in P9, Twitch Caxel P10, then comes Banana, Alvaro, Deadly, Wellsponge, Finnick, Ariel, Yawn and Jeffy. I'm just going to put these in real. Here we go. This is it for round 2. Formation lap, and then we go racing. This might be the only race of the day that we've not had rain in. It doesn't look like it's going to rain anyway. Forecast is showing a dry race at the moment anyway. Remember guys, if you do want to be a part of Formula 7 Racing, !Discord in the chat, you can come and join. We have free tiers that race every single Sunday, 10 AM, 12:30 PM and 7 PM. That's tier 3, 2 and 1. Then we have a realistic division that race on a Wednesday. That's 7 PM, realistic performance, driver salaries, team budgets and all sorts of stuff. We have a tier for everybody. So if you're not that quick and you want to race in tier 3, absolutely fine. And if you are really quick and you want to race in tier 1, that's also fine. If we've got a seat, we'll let you race. Unfortunately, we don't have many seats at the moment, but we can always get you in reserving until the seat pops up. What's going on, One Kidney Jim? So they all line up, ready to go. So Reese not able to get on the grid. This is going to give some of the drivers a real opportunity to get a head start on the world champion, who is not here to defend his crown. Look at all the drivers, the way they're aiming. Epic OJ and Hackmore aiming to the right hand side to cut him off. Here we go. They all line up. This is it. Oh, Jeffy's lost possession. He lagged out. So here we go. This is it for round 2 here for the Canadian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. Epic OJ and Fanford is going down towards turn 1. Epic OJ tries to cut off the Ferrari driver. And there goes Daki down the inside, collides with Hackmore. But he's up to P3. But for how long? Hackmore comes back at him. The Aston Martin, B-Right and Mirko. Mirko is round losing a few places, tumbling down to P9. And he's now behind CJ 3000. Stellan, that is Daki this round. It's absolute carnage at the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. Banana is through on CJ 3000 up the inside of the kick Sauber driver. Make sure you leave each other the space. And there goes round Stellan in the Alpine. Who would have thought that? The Alpine driver is rounded down to P17. So Twitch Caxel is through on Yoichi Yorn, and Yorn has to just go onto the runoff area there. And it's getting really tight between the drivers. Here comes Deadly on Finnick, the Alpine driver, going up the inside in towards the hairpin. Daki already picking up a time penalty. That is Jeffy Boy, who is round. Yorn going through on Ariel. What about Fanfinis? He leads and he's nearly outside of the DRS of Epic OJ. Then comes Hackmore, B-Right 1.2 behind. And he's got Mitch and Mirko chasing him down. Let me just invite Jeffy. Oh, he's not online. So there goes Twix Caxel on Finnick up the inside. Stellan into the pit lane. And yeah, that's it for Stellan. That will be his final race here in F7. So Finnick in the Red Bull goes through on Twix Caxel in the Mercedes. And here comes the Alpine on Alvaro Chavas. Oh, I went past your name. Sorry, Jeffy. So Hackmore on the back of Epic OJ and Fanfinis is 1.2 clear. Yeah, I know you quit. Don't worry, mate, because you can't race in F7 anymore, mate. It's every single week. You don't even get to complete half the race. It's ridiculous now, mate. Come on. Hackmore, here we go, on Epic OJ, Fanfitness leads, Williams, McLaren, here comes the Aston Martin, the Haas, the Ferrari, the Aston, the Kick Sauber, the happiest round, oh, he's had a huge collision into the wall of champions, the Red Bull collided with him, I think he might have damage, he's got to miss an end plate for Welsh Sponge in the RB, here comes Twitch Caxel around the outside off the Red Bull driver into the towards the centre virage, here comes Deadly and Alvaro Chabasco wheel to wheel through turn 2, but it's the Red Bull driver who gets his foot down early as we go down towards turn 3, and the Red Bull of Alvaro goes through. There we go, there's one seat that's opened up for Banana or beyond anyway. It's ridiculous. He raced 14 times last season and DNF 12 of them. He's raced twice this season and DNF both of them. Like, come on, that's 16 races with only 2 finishes. Like, it's ridiculous. That. And, you know, just to retire on that one again, same thing you did last week. Like, it's tiring. Anyway, let's concentrate on the actual good driving on track. Come on. Finnick and Twitch Caxel going at it again. Oh, there goes Hackmore through on Epic OJ. The McLaren gets him down the DRS straight. Then comes Twitch Caxel on Finnick, the Mercedes driver, on the Red Bull. And there goes Ariel as well on Yoish Yawn. And the Papaya goes through up to P15. Into the pit lane goes Welsh Sponge to get that front wing change. And here comes the 2 Ferrari-powered cars. Mitch is through on Mirko. And up to P5 goes the Haas. What about Banana in the Aston Martin? Says he's not quick enough for Tier 1. He's battling the top 6. There goes Welsh Sponge. There's a yellow flag as well. And I think that was the Haas of Daki. Yeah, and I know what you're saying, Stellan, but nobody else has the issues that you have. You DNF pretty much every race. It's just, come on. And then you just leave. It's a pointless seat to give out. There's people waiting for seats in Tier 1 and every single week you just DNF and leave every week. CJ 3000, it's just frustrating, mate. It's not your fault if you can't keep the car up. CJ 3000 in the Kick Sauber on the back of Banana. Here we go. They've all got DRS. There goes Mirko in the Ferrari, and he goes through on Mitch. That is B Right and Hackmore, both with 3-second time penalties. That is huge, and a little snap there from the Haas. There goes B Right into the podium places. Goes the championship leader after round 1. Ed Williams, how are we? The GOAT is in the chat. He's watching. So Hackmore in the McLaren on the back of Fanfitness in the Ferrari. So the Scuderia leads to the Papaya in P2. B Right's going to have to be careful here because Epic OJ will want to attack down that DRS straight. I'm alright. What a legend. There you are. The co-founder of Formula 7 Racing in the chat. Jeffy Boy through on Yoish Yawn. I don't think Jeffy Boy's still in his car. So I don't know what's going on there. So here we go, Hackmore. He'll get that DRS down towards turn 12 and 13. And he'll get the rear wing open. Is he going to go for the move or is he going to be patient? Down in towards the wall of champions. Fanfitness stays in the lead, but here comes Epic OJ on the back of B Right. The Aston Martin driver gets a better exit and can just stay in front. But for how long? Here comes Hackmore around the outside. The McLaren is into the lead of the Grand Prix. Can he try the old switcheroo for the Scuderia? He can't. What about B Right and Epic OJ? They also go wheel to wheel. The Williams of Epic OJ side by side going in towards turn 3. Has to back out and B Right stays in front. CJ 3000 on Banana and CJ 3000 is round in the Kick Sauber. Luckily, it looks like he's escaped without getting damaged there. Here comes Ariel in the McLaren, goes for on CJ 3000. Daki in the Haas is on his way. But that was very lucky to escape that without damage. So, is Fanfitness close enough to make the move this time? So Fanfitness chasing down Hackmore. Here we go, down in towards the World Champions. Look how quick Fanfitness is down the straight. and Epic OJ as well. Yoic John is back through on Jeffy Boy. What about Banana in the Aston Martin into the wall of champions? Mitch just clattering into the billboards there as he opened up the door for the Aston Martin, down in towards the centre virage, and down the inside he goes. Oh wow, and Mitch slams the door shut on the Aston Martin of Bananarama, and round he goes. And he's having a great race, the Aston Martin. Really unfortunate that is. Mitch picks up a time penalty, and some will call that karma. Mitch is a very good driver though. He'll come back from that. So, Fanford is still chasing him down. B-Right needs to get back within DRS range, but it's so difficult once you're out of it here in Montreal. Cheers, Ed. So, let me send Jeff another invite. So Fanford is chasing it out. Here comes Epic OJ. Epic OJ into the slipstream of the Aston Martin, and Epic OJ with an epic overtake goes up to P3. Deadly is round. Yellow flags are waving. He spun it. Coming out of turn 10. Through goes Ariel and CJ. Virtual safety car. Why is that? I'm not sure why the VSC has come out, but Mitch has taken it for a perfect opportunity to pit. So has Banana. I think all the drivers will go in, get onto fresh mediums, even onto the hards. Oh wow, this is really going to hurt the top 7 that have not pitted. Alvaro Chabas, I cannot believe you are up to P6 here in Tier 1. So the drivers do not want to get a drive-through time penalty here, but this is brilliant for Mitch. I cannot wait to see where he comes out. But I tell you what, he's come out. Oh, he got a time penalty. He had to serve a time penalty. CJ gets a drive-through from P8. We said about the drive-throughs. Mitch has served his time penalty. Banana is in prime position to be leading this Grand Prix when the other drivers pit. Tier 2. Come on. So, Bananarama through turn 6 and 7 we go, and he's just sliding about trying to get heat into them hard compound tyres. The Scotsman. So, through turn 8 and 9. Right, what about Fanford on Hackmore? Here we go. And they're both... remember, Fanford on mediums, Hackmore on hards. Epic OJ is back within DRS range. This is perfect for B-Right. B-Right will love the fact that Epic OJ has got back within DRS range of the front 2, because it brings him back in, and they're 4.5 seconds clear of the Italian of Mirko in P5. But these drivers now need to think. Bananarama got an undercut. CJ retires, calls it a day after that drive-through time penalty. But Bananarama has got a pit stop under the VSC, so he saved 10 seconds, and he's got the undercut as well. Banana could come out around 10 seconds in front of the leaders here if he times this right, if he gets the undercut going and starts boxing off laps. But he was quite a bit behind the leaders, so it will still be close. I mean, looking at it now, what is he? He's around 20 seconds behind the leader. But he's on the undercut now. He's in 9 seconds worth of clean air. Oh, Epic OJ needed to be careful there on the brake pedal. It's like he braked and then let go of the brake pedal and went into him, and now he's let B-Right all over the back of him. Here comes the Aston Martin driver down the casino straight. B-Right back into the podiums for the former world champion. Into the wall of champions, and Fanford goes into the pit lane. He's going for the undercut as well. Doesn't want any part of this. B-Right is still within DRS range of Hackmore in the Papaya McLaren in front. Mirko up to P4. Where does Banana come out? In accordance to Fanford, who is on his way out of the pit lane. I tell you what, Banana's undercut and his pit stop under the VSC has not helped him at all, actually. I mean, it has brought him well in the race, because Fanford was racing with the leaders, so it's basically brought Banana within touching distance of the race leaders. That's what it's done, considering he was about 15 seconds behind them. So it's brought him within 3 seconds of the leaders, and if he carries on with the undercut, it could be closer. B-Right's lost that DRS range to Hackmore. That means Epic OJ is going to be swarming him. And it makes 10-second time penalty for track limits. Jeez, he must have drove right over it. Maybe get that removed at the end. So here comes Epic OJ out of turn 10 in the hairpin. He'll get that DRS. The rear wing is wide open, but it looks like B Right got a really good exit. They are losing time to Hackmore. Remember, Epic OJ without the time penalty, and he's going to go into the pit lane. He does. He's going to cover off Fanfinus. B Right stays out on the hard. Hackmore stays out on the hard. Mirko stays out on the hard. Jorn picks up a time penalty. Albro, Finnick. It's all the hard runners now leading. Where does Banana come out in accordance to Epic OJ? And where does Fanfinus come out? Here we go. Fanfinus went for the undercut. He pitted one lap earlier than Epic OJ. And I tell you what, this undercut is absolutely massive because Fanfinus is way ahead with just one lap. And Bananarama is going to come out in front of Epic OJ. It's going to be close. And Banana goes wheel to wheel with Epic OJ. And that is how good the pit stop under the VSC and the undercut is for Banana. He's within DRS range of the race leader. So Deadly getting through on Jeffy Boy, who goes into the pit lane. You're picking up that time penalty. What about Banana in the Aston Martin? 24 laps to go, and it's all to play for here in Montreal. So exciting to see. Oh, there's a yellow flag. There is a yellow flag, and that is an Alpine, I think, of Deadly. It is, and into the wall he goes. Mitch picking up another time penalty. Just reset to track there at that point. Really unlucky for Deadly. He's not had a great race here in Tier 1, and here comes Jorn. Absolutely flying, and he goes through. Remember, Jorn probably wouldn't have had any practice as the game got removed from him. So Fanfinus in the Ferrari on the back of Finnick. He's 4 seconds clear of Epic OJ, and that will be it for Mitch. Another 10 seconds. Yeah, that's it for Mitch. Not a great evening for the Haas driver. Really unfortunate. He's usually a lot better than that, Mitch, and he knows it as well. So Banana's still within DRS range of Epic OJ. If he can stay within DRS of Epic OJ and just get tagged along and just pulled along, this will be really strong for Banana's race because he's on a pretty decent strategy here. He pitted under the VSC. He's going to have to pit again. He's on the hard, so he goes to maybe lap 23 and then goes back onto the mediums. He's in for a great Grand Prix. Fanfinus goes from Finnick. Was that a little bit of a DRS chicken there from Finnick, sorry, to let Fanfinus through? Deadly goes into the pit lane and he will call it a day as well. So all the DNFs so far have been in the pits. What a shame that is. So Fanfinus chasing down Alvaro Chabas, and he is coming like a steam train. Here we go. And down in towards the inside, and the Ferrari driver of Fanfinus makes it look easy, and let me tell you, that is not an easy overtake to do. But he has to have two to tango, and Alvaro Chabas is the perfect dancing partner for battles on track, and he will try and stay with Fanfinus for as long as he possibly can. Here comes Banana on Epic OJ, still within DRS range is the Aston Martin driver, and in P8. So there is a lot of points available here in this Grand Prix already, as 4 DNFs, 14 drivers left on the grid. So B Right 2.5 seconds behind Dennis, Mirko, and Fanfinus is absolutely flying here. He's going to be so far ahead of Hackmore and B Right. It'll be interesting to see when they pit. And yeah, they stay out for another lap. And looking at the tyres, I mean, them hard compounds must be around 42%, and the mediums of, the Mercedes are around 21%. So yeah, interesting. What about Banana on Epic OJ? So Banana right on the back of Finnick in that Red Bull, the Aston Martin driver. But the Red Bull will also get DRS off the Williams in front. But look how close the Aston Martin driver is. And the Red Bull is going to fend him off. He seems like he's got a bit more battery. He's got way more battery than Banana. And he's going to make it as tough as possible to get through into the Wall of Champions. Goes the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. Banana picking up a time penalty. Look how close Fanfus is now to his teammate. Mirko will let him through. I tell you what, the Ferraris look so good for the constructors this season. They really do. Into 2, 3 and 4. Banana on Finnick. Oh, he tried to go down the inside. That was brave. Optimistic as well. Yeah, that was crazy, that Mitch. So Wellsponge into the pit lane. So DRS enabled once more, and there goes Epic OJ through on Alvaro Chabas. And Alvaro on them hards, and there goes Fanfus. They do swap around, great teamwork. Banana knows he's got Finnick in the bag now. Sorry, 2 seconds, please. So here comes Banana on Finnick. He's a lot closer to get that move done this time. Here he comes. Look how close the Red Bull and the Aston Martin are. Banana has been saving his ERS, but the Red Bull is a bit of a sitting duck at this point, and Banana goes up to P7 into the Wall of Champions. And it is the Scotsman, and see the Red Bull in the distance, just losing the rears, sliding everywhere. Banana picking up another time penalty. Fanfus only 10 seconds behind the leader. I tell you what, Hackmore and B Wright have made these hard tyres last a long time, but have they overcooked them? Because there is no point in doing this unless they were going for a one-stopper, and I can't see a one-stopper working. If they're doing 17 laps on the hards, they're going to have to either go a couple more laps or do 18 on the mediums. It just makes no sense to me, unless they are going to go mediums now. We'll see. So Epic OJ through on Mirko. And Mirko would have done everything he could to block him off. Here goes Banana on Alvaro Chabas. The Aston Martin through on the other Red Bull, makes it 2 from 2 and up to P6 for the Flying Scotsman. So Mirko would have tried to hold up Epic OJ for as long as possible to help his teammate at Fanfus. He's already 5 seconds clear as the back marker just gets out of the way. Nicely done. So 8.6 is the gap. Fanfus absolutely flying on them hard compounds. So B Wright, who won the opening round last week with an absolutely fabulous strategy, is finding himself 4.5 seconds behind Hackmore. He might need to pull out another one of them strategies to get back into the lead here. He's going to be a full pit stop behind Fanfus in free if Fanfus catches back up to him. Alvaro on the back of Banana. Then comes Finnick. And they do stay out for another lap. They're going for the one stopper. That is crazy. A one stopper around Canada. I mean, their tyres, they'll be on around 56, 57% like the rest. But then, obviously, I think Be Right pits when Fanfurness gets to him. Because then Fanfurness would have to pit as well anyway. So, Fanfurness has basically done an extra stop. And he's now catching back up to where he was. So this is a really interesting strategy for both of the drivers. To see 4 drivers fighting for the race win, and 2 of them do a different strategy to the other 2, and 2 of them do a 1-stop and 2 do a 2-stop. I mean, if the safety car comes out now, this is awful for Fanfurness and Epic OJ. I mean, it's not that bad. But Fanfurness is catching up to Be Right with every single sector he goes through. And that is how Roger Bass in the Red Bull that is round. He's lost part of his front wing. Did he overcook them hard compound tyres for just that little bit too long? Hackmore is into the pit lane. So is Be Right. He follows him in. Fanfurness, now your race leader here in Montreal. Oh, Banana just got an illegal overtake for passing Yawn when lapping him. Wow. Finnick is back into the pit lane. So, where did he come out? Here comes Mirko. Here comes Banana. And I tell you what, Be Right is going to come out in quite a bit of traffic here. This is not what he wanted to happen. Alvaro speeds into the pit lane, calls it a day for the Portuguese driver who was having a great race in Tier 1 up until that spin. So, Banana into P5. He's got his teammate behind him. I'm pretty sure he will let his teammate through and then hold up the rest of the grid. But Mirko is going to... Hackmore, sorry, he's very lucky to get past Mirko on the undercut. Here comes Banana. Ferrari driver down in towards turn 10 at the right hand. Hairpin. Here comes Be Right. They'll both get DRS, and he gets a great exit, does Be Right. He's not got much battery though, he's burnt a lot of it already, and that might compromise him because he needs to get past this Ferrari ASAP. There goes Banana, and the yellow flags are waving. Here comes Be Right. He's not going to get past Mirko. He will get DRS again. Will he? No, he won't. And that is Daki from Twitch Caxo. Be Right really needs to get past Mirko, but the Ferrari driver will definitely hold him up for his teammate Fanfurness because the Ferraris are working together here. Fanfurness is on that 2-stopper. Be Right is on the 1-stopper. So Mirko will absolutely hold up the Aston Martin driver. And look at that, he is holding him up. So Sergio Perez-esque by that Ferrari down towards turn 8 and 9 for the Scuderia and the Aston Martin, and Be Right will have to be careful here. And because Banana's not been able to get away from Mirko, even though Mirko's been holding Be Right up, now Banana is basically essentially giving Mirko DRS as well because he wasn't able to get away from him. But Be Right gets a really good exit. He's going to get the DRS, he's going to get the battery. He does get past Mirko, but back comes Mirko, but he's lower on battery than Be Right, luckily. And there goes Banana and says, you go through. He'll try and slot back in front of that Ferrari. And they do go wheel to wheel, go the Aston Martin and the Ferrari. Be Right is finally through. But at what cost? The Ferraris with great teamwork. Yeah, unlucky, Alvaro. Nah, you're all good, mate. Really unlucky. Thanks for reserving. Oh, wow. Be Right picking up another time penalty. So, Banana and Mirko getting a bit fiery. And now here comes Daki. So, Fanfurness in the lead. Epic OJ in P2. Remember, they essentially are now another pit stop behind Hackmore and B. Wright. And the Aston and the McLaren will have to go to the end on these tyres if they're committing to the one stop. What about Daki? Oh, Mirko. Is the Ferrari struggling for pace here? Here comes Daki. I don't think... Has Mirko pitted yet? And through the wall of champions they go. No, I didn't think he had. Mirko, he's going for that one stop, but he's going for that really late one stop. So he's done 23 laps on the hards, has Mirko. That is a long way to go. 65% his tyres are. I'm surprised he's not pitted yet. So Hackmore is back with Epic OJ. Also, Pierre Gasly will start the Canadian Grand Prix from the pit lane. So Hackmore will go through, and the Williams driver is overtaken by the McLaren, and now he's only 4.8 seconds behind Fanfurness. But the strategy here now, it's 11 laps to go. Fanfurness, I think Fanfurness should pit now, really, if he wants to go into them fresh mediums and compete with Hackmore. But then on the other hand, he needs to make sure that the McLaren's tyres are worn down so he can start to catch him near the end of the race. But he's also got a time penalty. Yellow flags are waving. So this is going to be really difficult here for Fanfurness if he's going to stop again and go to the end. If he's going to stop again and then try and chase down the McLaren until the end of the race. So many different scenarios can play out here. B. Wright has not been able to do anything on their mediums. So, 3 seconds is the gap between the McLaren and the Ferrari. Schwartz Kaplan is also catching up to Finnick. He's got no time penalties. Daki is into the pit lane, so he's going to go for their mediums till the end of the Grand Prix. Yeah, onto them fresh mediums. Fanfurness just plodding along on them hards. Mirko is into the pit lane for his first pit stop of the race. Wow. So Mirko's come out in P10 right behind Jeffy Boy in the Kick Sauber. Mirko on them fresh mediums for the last 10 laps, and there goes Fanfurness into the pit lane. I knew that he would go soon, otherwise he's going to leave too much to do too late on in this Grand Prix. Epic OJ is up to P2. Mirko is through on Jeffy Boy, the Ferrari from the Kick Sauber. Where does B. Wright come out? Fanfurness is already on his way out of the pit lane. He's going to be so close to B. Wright here. I tell you what, the Ferraris have done a great job at holding up the Aston Martin. Mirko, brilliant teamwork, because it has really, really stung B. Wright here. Only 5.5 seconds behind with 10 laps to go, and he's on fresh mediums. This is going to be really tough for B. Wright to hold on to this. Trutzkatcher picks up his first time penalty. Jeffy Boy and Wells Fun chasing down Mirko, but they'll find it very tough to catch up to with him on them fresh regions. Epic OJ, Hackmore, B. Wright, Fanfurness, Banana in P5. A great debut in Tier 1 for the Scotsman. Who's Finconomics? So Joe, Sean into the pit lane. Jeffrey Boy already 2.4 behind Mirko. Shows the tyres. Okay. So there you have it. Look at Vander's first mediums. Epic OJ 16 lap old hard. Is Epic OJ going to try and go to the end of the race? That is the question. Could he get 27 laps out of them? I mean, it would be very, very close to a puncture territory. But it's doable. It's potentially doable. So let's see. We shall see. So Well Spun just caught up to Jeffy Boy. Second. Racing Bull. I do like the Racing Bull, to be fair. The clouds have started to get a little bit grey out there. Surely we're not going to see rain right at the end of this Grand Prix. Oh, what's going on, Adidas? How are we, mate? Oh, the Kicksauber makes a mistake. And now here comes Well Sponge in the V-Carb, and he'll get him before the DRS straight. Jeffy Boy with a slight mistake, and it cost him the position, but I think Jeffy will get the rear wing open. Oh, and he tries to dive in a little bit too early there. And he's just... oh, he's losing the rears as he tries to come out of turn 10. And Well Sponge has got a little bit of breathing space between him and the Kicksauber. Now Daki setting the fastest lap of this Grand Prix. Down in towards the World Champions. And the V-Carb is in P10 comfortably now. So Fanfurness is... oh, has Fanfurness made a mistake? He's now 7 seconds behind B. Wright. He must have made a mistake. Because he was only 5 seconds behind B. Wright when he came out of the pit lane. That mistake from Fanfurness might have just saved Hackmore and Epic OJ from being overtaken by the Ferrari here. I'm not sure what's happened, but he's losing more time. He's losing time in every sector. Has he got damage to the back of the car? I'm really not sure. How come you don't drive anymore, Adidas? So, Hackmore 5 seconds in front of Epic OJ. B. Wright is starting to catch up to the Williams. Could he take P2? It looked very unlikely just a couple of laps ago. But look at Fanfurness, he's now 8.2 seconds, 8.1 seconds behind B. Wright. He's losing a second a lap to B. Wright in the Aston Martin. Something's not right here, surely. I'm just going to have a look. He's in AI. He's in AI. Something's happened. He's still in the lobby, but he's in AI. Banana has got front wing damage as well, but he's still in P5. But I think Finnick will catch up to him. So, interesting that Fanfurness is in AI and he's lost. He's basically chucked a chance of a race win away here. Yeah, 12 seconds behind now. Oh, what's he doing? What is he doing? Fanfurness was on for a race win here. This is quite incredible. I cannot believe he's thrown it away like this. So, Epic OJ 6 seconds behind Hackmore. Here comes Finnick on Banana. Down the inside goes the Red Bull driver on the Aston Martin. The Mercedes wants to get involved as well. Twitch Caxel. Here comes Finnick and Banana. Wheel to wheel go the Red Bull and the Aston Martin. It is Banana that goes through. But Finnick on the fresher tyres. Banana picks up a time penalty. Twitch Caxel is just on the rear of them. Then here comes Daki. What about Fanfurness? I don't know what is going on with Fanfurness here. So, 2.5 seconds between B. Wright and Epic OJ. Yellow flags are waving. 5 laps to go here in Montreal. So Finnick, Twitch Caxel and Daki all chasing down Banana, who does have slight front wing damage. So it says on my system anyway. It's not showing any front wing damage, but he must have something because it is saying there is slight damage. So here comes Finnick, Twitch Caxel, Daki, all chasing down the Aston Martin. Here comes the Red Bull. He'll move over to the right hand side and he'll get the overtaken up to P4. And now here comes Twitch Caxel and the Mercedes as well. Oh, and he clips the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin loses front wing. He goes smashing into the Red Bull. Daki comes piling through as well. And there was a few things that went on there. Banana's into the pits. He is getting a front wing change. He's going on to them soft compounds for the final 4 laps. He's still going to finish in the points. OJ's on really old tyres. You are right. And I tell you what, OJ's tyres will be roughly... Jesus. Jeffy Boy's tyres are on 86%, his mediums. Oh, that's why he's in the pit lane. 1.8 is the gap now between B Right and Epic OJ. It looks like he is going to get the move done. So, Daki and Twitch Caxel are all in really strong positions. The 2 Ferraris, who looks like they were going to take huge constructors' points away from Canada, now look like they're not going to take anything. Banana through on well sponge, but the V-Carb is going to come back at him, just backs out going into turn 8 and 9. They are still going to take some decent points, to be fair. What is it, 10 points away in the Ferrari. And there goes Finnick and Twitch Caxel wheel to wheel through the wall of champions. You can't go through there, but they try it. And here comes Daki. Twitch Caxel once more. He's nearly touching the rear wheel of that Red Bull as they go down in towards the centre S's. Through turn 1 and 2, the Mercedes has the inside line, the Red Bull going the long way round, but now here comes the Haas driver trying to funnel away through, down in towards turn 3 and 4, Mercedes in P4, well, Swim's picking up a time penalty, Finnick all over the back of the Mercedes AMG Petronas. Here comes the Haas, here comes Finnick up the inside, the Red Bull driver with that lunge, makes it through, he does get tagged, and now here comes Daki in the Haas, and he will try and get a move done. Finnick goes back up to P4, Caxel to P5, Mirko in the Ferrari is catching up to him on them fresh tyres. He's going to pick up 3 places here if these drivers in front are not careful with only 2.5 laps to go. Mirko is on a lot fresher tyres than all 3 of these drivers. And the one-stop strategy could see Mirko finishing P4. Here comes Twitch Caxel, DRS enabled. He's low on battery, but it won't make a difference. Here comes the Mercedes on the Red Bull. What about Daki as well in the Haas down towards the wall of champions? And he does slot in front of the Red Bull driver. Twitch Caxel's up to P4. Banana is through on Fanfners, who's still sat in AI. Here comes Daki in the Haas, through on the Mercedes up to P4. Finnick in the Red Bull. Mirko will go the long way round. Here comes the Scuderia on the fresher tyres. Can he make the move on the Red Bull down towards turn 3 and 4? And the Maranello car does get through. The Red Bull goes round. And he does hold on there, Finnick. Wow. So Mirko will now chase down Twitch Caxel and Daki. Hackmore heading up the casino straight. There's rain. There's rain with 2 laps to go. And if it wasn't already so much drama going on, you throw a bit of rain into the mix as well. Oh, they're spoiling us. They're spoiling us. This is quite remarkable. Rain till the end of the race. 2 laps to go. Surely that's enough to get round on their mediums and get till the end. Not sure why his car's bouncing around like that onto the source with the new front wing. And B Right 1.5 seconds behind Epic OJ. Epic OJ on, let's just have a look, 23 lap old hards, but B Right on 14 lap old mediums. Epic OJ doesn't have a time penalty either, so it does look like he is going to take P2. What about Mirko? And he is just getting through with the back marker as well. Sponge on them fresh softs now. Rain has come. Oh, Mirko is really struggling. B Right is only 8 tenths behind Epic OJ. And we are going on to lap. Is this going on to the final lap actually? We're on to the final lap of the Canadian Grand Prix. B-Right will still want to get that P2 on track, but he won't win it with that time penalty unless it gets removed. Here comes Mirko on Twitch Cactus, who's 2.3 behind Daki. So Daki is absolutely taken off. Here comes Mirko with that DRS. How long will that DRS stay there? We knew it was going to rain as well with the clouds in the sky. Mirko in the Ferrari will go through on Twitch Cactus. And the Scarlet Ferrari on the AMG who goes into the wall. Twitch Cactus's into the wall. He'll spin it round. He's still got P6. He needs to be careful. Who is that that's round? There's a Williams as well who's lost it. Mirko, Finnick goes through as well. And Twitch Cactus is still in P7. He needs to get a move on, otherwise Banana is going to catch him. He's still well within the points here. B-Right, what about Hackmore on his return to Formula 7? The Belgium driver, the little Albanian in the Papaya McLaren coming down the casino straight. Fanvinus into the pit lane. And Hackmore in the McLaren comes through the wall of champions. And it's redemption for Hackmore. The return of the GOAT. The McLaren wins here in Canada. Epic OJ will come through in the Williams. He's going to take P2. He's struggling on them tyres, but it doesn't matter. Epic OJ with an epic race takes P2. B-Right takes P3. Daki, incredibly, looks like he's going to take P4. What a race that is for the Haas. Mirko chasing him down. Twitch Caxel is 2.8 clear of Banana. And Daki coming into the wall of champions. Hey Ariel, you finished the race. Oh, well, Sponge has lost it. Oh my God, going up towards the line. Daki takes P4. Mirko will take P5. Finnick will take P6. Oh, he had to brake there. He needs to be careful, otherwise he's going to get caught by Twitch Caxel. Finnick will take P6. Great race from Finnick. And Banana will come through to take P8. That was an awful race in terms of actual finishers, but it was a brilliant race in terms of viewership and watching it. Wow, so Jeffy Boy comes through and there we have it. So there we have it on the top step. It is Dennis in the McLaren. So let's go through your final standings. So it is Hackmore that takes the race victory here in Canada. Epic OJ takes P2. B-Right takes P3 and Daki in P4 with the fastest lap. Mirko takes P5. Finnick from 15th on the grid takes P6 with a load of battles as well. Twitch Caxel takes P7. Banana takes P8. Jeffy Boy takes P9. And Fanfinus takes P10 after battling for the race win and then going into AI near the end. Ariel P11. Well Sponge P12. Yorn P13, then comes Alvaro, Mitch, Deadly, CJ and Stellan, who all DNF in this Grand Prix, but what a fascinating race. My driver of the day will go to it's going to go to Finnick. It was Daki or Finnick. I've gone for Finnick. No, so we're just going to skip interviews, Banana, because I know everybody wants to get off and watch F1 and I need to set up my Fire Stick and everything, so we'll skip it and then we'll jump out. Nice one, Ben. Cheers, mate. Right, congratulations, everybody. Well done on the result. Thank you all so much for tuning in and supporting us as always. You never disappoint, and it really means a lot when you all sort of come in and watch and support us, and it's brilliant. So yeah, thank you so much. Enjoy the race, everybody, and I'll see you next week.